Bjorn in Norway, who says he's got research he'd like to present on consciousness that might be connected to the existence of a God. So let's start with proving that a God exists first.
Well, this might be something weird to do right now, but there might be some difficulties translating some of the terms, but we can work on this. The argumentation I present to, maybe some others have said it, doesn't matter really, is that every realized moment must always have been potential of becoming before the realization. That's a no given axiom. You understand?
No.
Hello?
Do you understand, Jim?
It must be possible to happen when it happens.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
That seems like a tautology, but sure.
Yeah, that's just repeating the same thing twice.
So if everything realized is potential before the realization, you got this state of potential, timeless, which must have been always. And then that's what I call omnipotence. What I do with compare to omnipotence. Also, the possibility of becoming totally abstract, but must have been. And therefore,
are you making an argument for determinism?
Determinism will be a consequence, of course.
Are you saying everything that was supposed to be the way it is, like it couldn't have been anywhere else, anyway else? It was always going to be meant to be the way it is?
I have been working on this and researching. And
wait, hold on. What is God? What is God? Because before we try to prove, yes, because you're trying to prove that God's existence. So what is it?
On my subjective point of view, as a Norwegian, we are Odin. On our journey through life, receiving experience, wisdom, and that I don't know what you know about Norwegian modern mythology.
I know Odin. I know who Odin is, but that's not the answer to my question. What is God? Is that you just give me a name? Are you telling me his name?
A name. Well,
can you define God?
The primordial consciousness, which upholds, so I don't know the right word, the presence of potential.
Okay.
Is upheld by...
These are different things. Pick one definition. You're giving me different definitions. Can you pick one definition? You're giving me different things. What is the definition of God? Is it the first consciousness that created everything? Do you want to go with that?
I understand the question. Huh?
Okay. You don't understand the question. You're trying to prove God. Before we prove God, the existence of God, we have to understand what we're talking about. What is God? Are you, based on what you've said so far, I think you're saying that the first consciousness, there was a consciousness at the beginning of everything that created everything. Is that what you're going to want to call God? The consciousness at the beginning of everything that created everything?
Yes, it's similar to the biblical...
No, I don't care what it's similar to. Just answer my question. Is your definition of God the primary, consciousness that created everything?
No, it did not create everything. Everything
what did it do?
Potential. Its potential to become was always. And this was a timeless state.
Then what did the consciousness do?
It was upholding the presence of potential by its logical sense.
How would you even go about demonstrating that there is something that upholds anything?
Yes, you can go further back to the alogical state.
What does an illogical
consciousness?
state even mean?
Yeah, right.
What is consciousness?
It was abruptly, without reason, from nowhere. It was broken by the minimal, illogical pace.
You're stringing words together that have meanings, and I think I understand the meanings, but I put them together and they don't have any meaning. What is this? Why is there a state before logic?
Now, there is no state before logic.
Okay.
Because the potential has always been.
The potential is there's a potential for a herd of pigs to come flying out of my backside right now. Does that mean I should actually wear a pigsty for underwear?
Right, but there's a different thing. The potential was abstract. It had no definitions. It was just potential of becoming.
Becoming what? Okay. Potential for what?
And then one change occurred, and a paradoxical event happened that every logical pattern.
Okay, can it? Okay. You're just saying. Okay, wait. Listen. Wait. You're saying things that are just basic things that we know about how words work. Like everything has a potential. Everything becomes what it had the potential to become. These are not valuable statements to make. These are just things the way they are. But then you introduce a consciousness at the beginning of all of this, and you're failing to connect these statements that are, not important, not very meaningful, because they're so obvious that nobody is saying they're not true. But then you add to this soup of just random sentences that nobody disagrees with, a part that we want to see how you got that part, like the consciousness. Can you connect all these random statements that you're making to that consciousness? Because right now you haven't built a bridge between these sentences and that consciousness. What is that consciousness, and how do you know there is such a consciousness? Just saying that things are becoming what they had the potential to become is not valuable. It doesn't add anything to us believing that consciousness at the beginning exists. Because things could become things could become what they had the potential to become without that consciousness. Can you tell us why that consciousness is necessary for all of this to happen?
Something cannot exist alone.
Okay, tell us why.
So hold on a second. Did you just say something cannot exist alone?
Yes, because if it's alone, if it's everything and nothing else, as I said in the chat, it's the same as nothing.
That doesn't make any sense. How do you know something can't exist alone?
Nothing can exist alone.
Just repeat
nothing
the claim.
Can exist alone.
And A is A and nothing else than A.
Yes, that's the first law of logic. Thank you very much for stating it. What does that have to do with something existing?
Yes, and this thing existing with it, because the concept of absolute nothingness is just meaningless.
There is no concept of absolute nothingness that comes from anywhere except theists, right? There is no physicist.
Yes. I'm not a religious theist. I just believe.
But so the problem that you have is that there is no physicist that I'm aware of who has hypothesized that the universe came out of nothing. None, zero, doesn't exist.
Yes,
in fact, to make it even worse for you, when you say that nothing can't exist, we've actually proven that that's not true. Right, we have taken
alone. I said.
How do you know that it can't exist alone? The universe apparently exists alone. Our universe is only one of a kind, as far as we know. We're not able to peer outside of it, so we don't know. But the universe could do it.
But even if it's true, it's not relevant to his claim.
Yeah, true. We still haven't gotten around to why you think a God exists. Or what this consciousness is, right? You haven't been able to define this consciousness or how we can detect it.
If we could agree on the potential part, that the potential of becoming must have been.
Yes,
Okay,
the
sure,
potential
but this
for
has
something
not-
to
these are
happen
just-
must
these
happen.
are-
But it doesn't mean
what
anything.
you're saying is like, hey, do you agree that 2 plus 3 is 5? Do you agree that 4 divided by 2 is 2? Do you agree that if I count from 1 and then go away 8 times, go forward 8 times, then I will reach number like 9 at some point? Would you? And then okay, well, the consciousness at the beginning of the universe. Well, hey, wait, like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? You're just saying stuff that are just random statements about obvious things, and you're saying things that are just like the way they are. They were the potential of what they were before, and like, okay, where does this consciousness come from? That's the part that we have an issue with. Not all these random statements about obvious things.
The upholder of potential. It's just as
why do we need an upholder of potential? Why do we need that? Can you tell us why we need that? Why do we need and also why, even if we did need an upholder of potentials, why should it be consciousness? What is consciousness?
Down. What consciousness
What?
is? I define it in 2 parts, but I'm not sure what it's in English.
How do you know there has to be an upholder of potential?
Like panpsychism, it's in that area, but I'm for the argument of why is the potential, the existence of the potential.
Okay.
So here's the problem with your existence of potential. I agree, things are potential, right? It is there is a potentiality where a herd of pigs can come flying out of my ass, correct?
Yes. No.
Is that probable? Is it probable for that to happen? Is that probable?
No.
Okay, so why do I care? Why do I care about things that are potential but not probable?
Because this was the state before the beginning of Big Bang.
How do you know that?
God. We're not saying anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. How would you go about demonstrating that this existed before the Big Bang, considering that physicists who have the math and the tools can't get there?
I have studied your show because I have a deep interest in the communication between atheists and theists. And argumentation.
You're not communicating very well for somebody that is so interested in communication.
Yeah, and you haven't. Also, it's a real simple question. How do you know what happened before the Big Bang? How do you know what happened before the Big Bang?
Well, then I have to tell you something from my life, and you're not interested in that.
That's right,
no, personal experience is only evidence you had an experience, not the truth of the experience.
Yeah.
So we don't really care. What I want to know, but because you need to demonstrate what happened before the Big Bang. And if your answer is personal experience, are you claiming that you existed before the Big Bang?
I'm claiming we have to do this systematically. And it would be much easier.
As part of your system, you wanting us to believe that you had a personal experience from before the Big Bang?
I accidentally started the process in my mind for about 30 years ago, 25 or what. That's it.
Okay, and how would we demonstrate that this experience that you started 35 years ago is real and not just all in your head?
Yes, that's a good question, actually.
Oh, okay. I think we got to end the call there, bud, Bjorn, because if you can't figure out a way for us to prove that your personal experience is real, there's nothing more really to talk about, is there?
Well, I'm still doing the research, and I'm very thankful for your time and all that. And
thank you.
I really want to know why, given that we have potential for things to happen in the universe, why do we need like a bag of potential holders? Like, why can't we just have potentials without a potential holder? And if we did need a potential holder, why does it need to be conscious? And what is your definition of consciousness? We never got to that because you just kept on repeating. The reason why I get frustrated is because instead of building this bridge to carry me to the next, part of their argument, you kept on repeating the same things. Like you're like, okay, we agreed, okay, we have potential for things to be a certain way in the universe. I wanted you to take me to the next step. Why do we need a potential holder? What does this got to do with the consciousness? I kept on asking you this over and over and over again, and you kept on going to the first step and just repeating it. That's not very good communication.
I postulate the presence of a logical sense. That
okay.
That's the claim. I understand
yeah, that's just
that.
a claim.
That's the claim.
Yeah,
That's the claim.
Bjorn,
I was asking why.
Bjorn, I think you need to go back to the drawing board. And remember, you called us, so if you weren't prepared to deal with this topic in English, that's not on us. Okay, thanks for the call, Bjorn. Call back when you've got some more evidence that doesn't rely on your personal experience. Thanks. Bye.